Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Thursday, August the 26th. And with the ASX here, we've got, as I mentioned before, we've got this 5 waves down through here. So that leaves a good possibility that we can rally to the 60, 50, 60% mark and then move down again from here. Now also too, this whole pattern here is being governed by the banks. Even the banks in the US have got this 3 wave up here when we look at Goldman's, Morgan's and Bank of America and so on, all slightly sort of different. Some of them have come down further, some have not come down further. So there's still a possibility that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 are in, well, with A and Z. Anyway, let's have a quick look at A and Z. See here, it hasn't really overlapped here, but it's sort of hanging on in a way, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And when we look at CBA, as you know, it's moved down and overlapped its move up through here, so we need to count that as 5 waves up there, or otherwise we need to look at this as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here with another drop to come into this space here, and then it can move up from that point. I don't know that, but it may just move up for the B wave as well. So we're going to be in a bit of a tizzy here for a little while, I'm afraid. Yeah, so I just think that we should just focus on, forget about trading the banks at the moment, and just if you're trading this market here, let's just focus on what we've got here. So let's move in on this to, I think we can go to the 4-hour chart first just to get a bit of an idea. So we're looking for this to pull back roughly into the box here as possible A wave here, even wave 1 really. And we do have a case for 5 waves down through here. I can force 5 waves up here. So the B wave here, you know, if this market found support on 7,550, well then I'd be wrong and we can go long from that point, but we'll need a classic trading levels pattern sitting on that level. That's not what we're looking for, and we're looking for something like this. So on that 7,550, if we see the arrival, the reaction, we need to wait for the first high to come into play, and then we still need to wait for all of this as well. If we get that, then we'll turn bullish, but if not, then you need to be mindful, we need to look further down at this point. So as a B wave here, as an A and a B and a C wave, if we go to the hourly chart, that's kind of fallen into place reasonably well here. The A wave is perfect, the B wave is perfect, the C wave up here is not that perfect, and I'd be forcing it to count it, which we'll have a look at, but yeah, there's still issues in counting it 5 waves to that particular point. What you could also do too is that because this move here now is how it is, that means that you can go long above here for short-term traders and just have a small position, because you'd want to look to build on this position here at the 7,550 area, and you would want to see a classic trading levels pattern there, the arrival, the reaction, first high, or just that first high above the level, so on. So you'd want that, you know, you want that trade set up sitting on that point. So that's sort of where we are really with all of this. So I don't know a lot at this point, but what I can go off is just, if I don't know the bigger picture, then we have to work with the little picture. And the little picture is telling us we've got a reasonable 5 wave structure down through here, so that would leave a counter trend to the 61.8% or thereabouts, and then fold down from that point. If the 60, 50, 60% retracement level here, which we'll just call 7,550, a nice strong number, if that becomes the support, then we'd be wrong and we can move further up from that point. So I'm afraid that's about the best I can do without leading you astray in terms of the count. And yeah, so we just need to move past this a little bit, that's all. But if this is correct, you know, if this, well, even if, let's just go to the tick chart for a moment. Let's just have a look at that move up here. Now, it's a bit of a long shot for this. So just from the low here, don't worry about my count, we can count this as the A wave, the B wave, and yeah, it doesn't really fit like that, does it? Nah, that's not good enough. It's not good enough to pitch. Sorry. I mean, that just looks like 5 waves to that point. I can't fit that. I can't fit that there, because then we've got overlapping wave structures with this. I mean, that would be 5 waves. That's corrective. That would be 5 waves. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but the trouble with that is then we've got wave 4 overlaps wave 1. So there is a bit of a problem here with this. I could go wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and keep building to the upside. So yeah, having that top in, I mean, we can count 5 waves up here. That's, you know, the last little 5 here that we're looking for yesterday. That's all cool, but I don't know if we can just put that in there. This move down through here counts as 5 waves, and this move here is an A and a B, maybe in a C wave. We could probably get away with that. This move down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, with a little ABC back up here. So if you want to go long, you could also go long above here, not so much above this one. So just be a little bit careful, all of this. If you're long here at the moment, I just think we should protect that. Yeah, just stick it under here, just so you've got to break even if you haven't taken any money off the table at that point. Let's just look after that. So yeah, look, this can be counted in different ways, so I don't think it's fair to count it, to force it, because it would not going to do us any good. You know, when you do that, you just start getting into the guessing game. So we need to really remove that wave B there as well to a point. But anyway, if it was going to fail, this is where it can fail from. Okay, right on that point there that we noted yesterday and today. And let's just see how it travels. If you go long here, then it would make this move down here corrective. Otherwise, we'll just see this you know, continued lower at this point. But how far will it come down is the other point as well. So yeah, there's a lot here I don't know. So just be careful at this point until we can get some sort of clarity or some other trade setup. Okay, yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, there's nothing I can do with the finance sector because I can't see it straight, but the resource sector is looking a bit better, but we'll just have a look at China. It still needs to make one more low there. Could have a look at the Shanghai comp here for a moment. So that means we need to go in here. Just we find it here, just checking on it. The Shanghai comp, this one. Okay, that pushed up a little bit further yesterday, because yesterday we noted that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and you could probably get 5 waves out of this, but because it's testing these highs now, yeah, and also this could be corrective. So this market is looking a bit more bullish, you know, in the bigger picture. So we could look at this as wave 1 here, for instance, ABC for 2 here, and then start looking at this as 3 up here and ABC for 4. It may get a little bit sort of uglier. The Shenzhen, which obviously has got more, you know, where all the tech stuff is coming from, it's struggling up here, but, you know, because of what's, you know, the relationships globally and so on. But the structure here still looks good, and that's what it can still work off. So looking at this as well, 1 and 2 here, and all of 1 and 2, a nice third wave up here, and so 4th and 5th. So we still should be making new highs with all of this. So this also presents the case as well. I'm not too sure about counting that. There's probably an A and a B and a C in here, but a 5-wave structure here, corrective, and let's see if that pushes up. It's on lower volume yesterday, so it's going to struggle at the top here, but we'll keep an eye on that anyway. And let's just have a quick look at India while we're sort of here. Yeah, it's made a new high there, so I mean, we'll just play it out, but we can look at that probably as impulsive. Let's just have a quick look on the tick chart, see what it's got to say for itself. Okay, so, well, let's just call that 1 and 2 here, and then we'll call this the 3rd wave and the 4th wave here. So in terms of it pulling back for a stop loss, so to speak, we could look at it. I'm going to, oh yeah, no, we'll take it from there. So you wouldn't want to see it coming any lower from this, but you could also put this top here over here for this as well. You could probably use that top instead of that one. So look, your stop would need to be under the 1660 here, but of course you wouldn't put stops on whole numbers. You just don't do that. You attract loss at that point. So you need to come down further from that point. But yeah, I mean, it's looking good. I mean, you could count this differently. You could count this something as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. But we'll just take that as the third wave and look for the fourth wave back, and we should see a fifth wave to the upside. So I'll leave that at that. Okay, over to the commodities. So iron ore is the first one. So we're considering a low being in place. We still need to gather some evidence at this point, but as an A and a B and a C, we're looking at copper and the US dollar, or the Australian dollar, all doing the same thing. The US dollar doing the reverse from that. We can have a look at that when we look at we'll have a look at the Australian dollar. Let's just, we've been looking at this on the tick chart or the hourly chart. Okay, this will do the trick. Okay, so when I close the platform, it all gets squashed up, whatever I draw. So on the tick chart, that is. I can't put the wave 4 there. It's just not right. We can look at that as 5 waves, though. Maybe we need to look at it. It's probably a bit short. Okay, we'll start with that anyway. I'll just adjust it later. 1, 2, we'll take that top there as that, and that as that. And then we'll probably need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5. So we'll probably need to look at it something like this as well here. So just a building process. Sometimes you just get the 5 waves and you can, use that, but other times it's 1s and 2s and you've got to build it as such. So I think we're going to be into the building process here. May have to change this. It's just our first draft of this. And obviously we need to confirm this bullish move with the money side of town as well, the US dollar index and so on and so on. But yeah, look, it's good. I mean, what I could say here is while this market stays above the major trading level 8 here, then we can, we can stay positive. But a breach of this, and then we know that all of this is a corrective pattern. So that's the major levels, the line in the sand. A nice migration from being resistance to support over here. So if you're going long, that's where you'd go long from where we are now. Of course, you'll be able to refine that further because I think this needs to play up here and then have a little ABC pattern here. And then push up from that point. So that can be the B wave there. If you can't see that, draw a line through there, that type of thing. Because I think this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the third wave, fourth and fifth wave to hit here and then pull back. Anyway, we don't really trade that, but So copper, let's have a look at copper. Copper's made a nice little move to the upside. Where we're looking at this on the tick chart as well. Let's just have a look. Probably not. Maybe the hourly chart. Okay, the hourly chart. Okay. So we're looking for the low. We kind of called it in. We're looking for this to move up. We don't have 5 waves here yet. This makes a nice 5 wave for 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for that. Is there 5 waves in that, or do we need to put that over there? That's one question that needs addressing, right? So that's one thing we need to figure out there. So we need to get clarity on that move there. Somebody keen on doing that. The next thing is that this little move up here appears to be in 3 waves. It could be wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but if it drops down below that little low just here, then it becomes a B wave and we'll have to move that over to here. So I'm a little bit unsure about this, but the main point is here is that we want, if I can just draw over here, we want that to top, and then we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave back. So this 5-wave structure, this move up here, I mean, that could be wave C, and that's the top, and then this is down for 1, back for 2, and we move all the way down. I mean, that's possible as well. So these are the things that we need to get past. But I think, as I mentioned yesterday, let's just allow this to come up and get 5, see if it gives us 5 waves. If that's the case, then we'll have a pullback, and then we can look to move into things. And I'm thinking this pullback here, by the way, as I think I mentioned yesterday as well, even though I forget what I've said, I always pretty much say the same, so it doesn't really matter that much. I think this pullback here, when we get it, that's when we'll see the likes of BHP in that pullback. So if I can just bring up BHP for a quick little look here. So these moves we're seeing up here, they're on lower volume moving up. Well, a bit more volume coming in on that last move, but yeah, we're seeing those as wave 4. So I'm still looking for a move down for wave 5 here. So I'm thinking that, you know, when iron ore and copper, as we were just looking at, and need to bring back for a moment. Yeah, so when this ABC comes back, that's when BHP and all that could come back and make new lows. Okay, I may be wrong, but it's something to latch onto and something to work with at that point. So that's that. We need to have a look at the dollars. So let's look at the Australian dollar. Where is it? Here. So this is a 4-hour chart. I won't go into the bigger picture. We're looking for a low. We feel like we've got the low in place. We need to look at this move up through here. Have we been looking at this on the tick chart? We're also looking for an impulse wave here, basically. So we're looking, let's just remove that. Not sure what that, oh, that was a long trade there, but that's we're basically doing the same thing as copper. We're looking for that 5 waves, and then we're looking for an ABC pattern here, and then moving up from there. And we can also look to, I'll just keep it simple there, but we could also, if that 5 waves is clear, we could buy back here and build in on this side. We can draw lines through here, all of that sort of stuff. Let's just check on the tick chart if I've been working on that. Looks like there's a bit of mess there. That could be a go. Let's bring in some more data. Yep, this is the one. So I've done a bit of work on this, so we've counted this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 a third, looking back for the 4th, so we're looking for the 5th wave up. Still need to double check that, but it's kind of looking okay. I'll just move these over yonder here. It's funny, this tick chart didn't grab all of those and push them back. So some of the tick charts do, and some don't. I have to find that setting. So that's our wave 1 here. If I can just borrow some of these for the bit, just to keep track of things to a point. We're looking for that to move up there yesterday. I don't think that we've got wave 3 in here yet. And then so if you're in this, if you took a long trade from 72 or whenever it was, then you'll need to get out at 73. Because the correction here, the profit taking, could be a little bit severe. It could be anywhere from, you know, a 40% move back to a 61.8%. I mean, the reality is that it can be anywhere from here to here. You know, normally I just go to the 50% here. Well, I'll put that in. So, but it can go, you know, it just can go back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree as well. I would imagine it would stay above the 72. So let's just put Humpty Dumpty together. We don't need, we'll just pop these over there because that's where they belong. Doesn't look so messy that way. It looks professional. Looks like we've accounted for everything. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. So it's this B wave that we'll be going long on, but we could do better than that as well. Let's just see what we get there. I mean, all this will get squashed back. No, this one won't get squashed back over. That's good. So yeah, that's it. So if you've traded long here, then get out at 73, okay? Our next move will be going long. We'll get an A and a B and a C, because wave 2 should be a zigzag. It should be a 5-3-5 structure. So we should be able to buy down here as well. I wouldn't mind getting some myself. Probably, you know, because you're in for the long hauls, probably better off using futures contracts. The old fuddy-duddies at the ASX, when they bought the Sydney Futures Exchange, and that they cut out the Australian dollar futures. So probably have to go to the CME to pick up the futures contract. At least you're not paying overnight financing on it, because when you think about this in a way, if we go back to our 4-hour chart here we've been working on, I mean, that's the run that we're looking at. You know, we're looking up into group 1 here. We'll be looking up into, well, we'll just trade to the 80, of course, but and take some of the money off the table here at this number 8 and the rest at this 8, but it can push up into that space there. So, you know, all in all, that's a nice little haul, isn't it? You know, but if you're trading CFDs, they're charging you overnight finance, and they calculate that every day, and because you're going at a higher price each day, they're calculating it at a higher price each day. So they're compounding the interest, you know. That's what they're sucking up, you know. But it depends if you're, you know, and then, you know, if they've placed you in book A or book B. If you're in book A, you'll be hedged, and they can even follow your trades. They've got little AIs that if you're a winning trader, they will be copying your trades onto another provider. You know, that's what they do. If you're in book B, then you won't be hedged, and they'll expect you to lose your money. So you know if you're winning or losing, you know, or if you got small accounts, you know, of $1,000 and those sort of things, well, you just go straight into book B. Anyway, bucket shop technology, CFDs, gotta love them. So let's cruise on. Let's have a look at the dollar index. Okay, that's looking good. This is just the daily chart here. I won't go into a lot of depth here. We've got wave A here, wave B here, wave C here for wave 4, and we're looking for this to move down. So we're looking, we can see that it's closed on its low there. I will just cut straight through to the 15-minute chart. It was probably a bit messy. I don't even know if I got it labeled. No, if I got something turned off. Let's go to the hourly chart then. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so just to follow through on this where we've been, a little bit hard to read here, but basically we're looking for 5 waves down, so we can pop that in there. I thought I've already popped that there before, but... And then we're looking for wave 2 to come back. I was a little bit unsure, I hadn't pulled it apart, but it kind of looks like it's done, you know, especially if it takes that low out there, then there'll be some sort of ABC in here. So now we can start counting down here again for this. I can't remember what this is here. That's okay, that's from that low to that high there. That's the 50-60% retracement level. So through all that picks up that low there, of course, and a lot of this, you know, resistance in here was all. So there's something, you know, mystic and magical at that particular point for some reason. So you can expect that to be there. So probably be some. What do we need to do here? We need to go. Something like that. I'm not very good with this thing. There'll be some sort of thing going on there for that. So just be mindful of that. We can bring that down here as the third wave. So that's the US dollar index. So that's looking quite good in that regard. You know, we've picked the top. We've watched the turn, we've counted, we were cautious, we were optimistic, we were everything, and it's just unfolding nicely on Q, and also working in with the other markets as well. So I won't do the yields. They are looking strong though. I just want to keep the video as short as possible. I need to quickly have a look at, we'll have a quick look at gold. So just on the tick chart here, we've got from the low, wave C4 here, perhaps we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm putting 4 here, and we're counting this up here as 5. So that's the top there. It does appear that we've got 5 waves down here, so we can look for a rally back now. So just taking these highs here roughly. Don't like spikes, but I'll use it all the same. So basically we need to retest. Well, we could retest this supply here, or this somewhere in here for another move down at that point. So we're kind of on track for this here, so that pattern. I still don't know if it's wave A up here or wave 1 here, so we'll see. But what should be interesting is this wave C here, and that will be 2 of, I've got the 1 on top there, so I should put the B wave there. Not that I'm putting them on top of each other just so they don't have any dominance over each other. If one was more dominant than the other, if the 2 was more, felt more dominant, then I'd put it here, right? But in front, but I'm not. So we're still just looking for some sort of B wave and then 5 waves down here. It may stay within group 2 here as well, so group 1 above and group 2 below, because we are, we are doing the quick step across the 1800 here, little dance, and I still don't know if we're in the triangle in the bigger picture as well. That's another issue as well, but I think that this would be a good sort of buying opportunity, especially once we get the first 5 waves up there. Once we get 5 waves and we get the pullback here, then either buying here or buying spot, buying physical, whatever and whatever. But yeah, we've talked all about that before. We should just have a quick look at crude as well while we're here. Crude. So wave 3 top, we've got the A wave here, the A wave here, and A, B, C. Looks like we've got 3 waves here. So I'm calling it the A wave here, the B wave here, the C wave here. I've got a couple of different targets. This first from there to there is here, from that top to that bottom is here. So we could be anywhere in there. We're looking for 5 waves up there. We do need to be a little bit careful. So if we get 5 waves up there for wave C, then we could come down for wave C here. But we just also need to be careful when we get the 5 waves here. If we get 3 waves back and then we push up there, we'll also need to look to go long at that point there as well. So we'll just need to be a bit mindful when that occurs. I think we've got the tick chart for this. Let's just bring in some data. So wave B low there, and I was counting this up here. Probably need to do a bit more homework, but look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, probably could count that a bit differently, but 1 and 2 in here, and I've counted. I'll let you double check that work, but in a nutshell, 1 and 2 here, 3, 4, 5 the third wave. Fourth wave is a little bit small, but it's okay compared to wave 2, and then we're looking for wave 5 to move up here. It looks like we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then this is the third wave here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pulling back to the fourth wave here might get a little bit more sort of dodgy in a way, like an ABC pattern here or something, and then wave 5 here, and then that's where that top can play out from. So if you're long, but I haven't really done a lot of work on this, so it's just like first draft. So yeah, double check it. Let's move on to where's BHP in the US. So BHP in the US, we're looking at it as wave 3 over here on this daily chart, an A and a B and a C wave down here. Well, we can put that a bit closer over here, sort of a little bit lonely there. Now, yeah, sort of 1 and 2 and 3, and looking at this as wave 4 here. So it's moving up on lower volume. so diminishing volume, so it's not going to go very fast. What Bitcoin was doing from its low up to the 50,000, have a look at it on the weekly chart, it had lower volume as well, and it's folded over and had 5 waves down now. So this is what we're sort of expecting here. So the pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, because of the dollar moving up and the iron ore low in there, the copper low in, we just, I could be wrong here, and the wave 4 is tied up in this empty space that I can't see here, that's the wave 4 in there, Pete, couldn't you see that type of thing, so we'll keep an eye on everything, and we'll look at the intraday a little bit further along, but we just need to allow this to play out. So from that high there to, I don't know if I've got that very accurately there, it can go way up here to the 38.2%. We'll just keep an eye on that. We'll leave that there. So because that's a long way away. Let's just check our local mob here. Once again, that wave 4 can go up. We just better check on that too. That's pretty close. I'll give it a bit of there to make up for it. That's a long way up, actually. I won't look at it today, but next week we will start looking at this a little bit closer in here and see what we've got. Okay, because yeah, I just want to get a few more because I can see already that I could count it up as an ABC or a third wave that's not finished. And let's just say that I've got this totally wrong and we do get 5 waves up here. Well, not to worry, we'll catch it on the ABC coming back again here, because that would be 1 and 2 in here. That's 1 and 2 in here, and this will be a little third wave in here, or an AB and a C in here. It doesn't have to come back to the 38.2%, but 46.50 would be a nice move there. That would be the lower end of group 2. So if we've got 40 here, we've got 1, 2, 3 that make up group 1, then 5 the midpoint, and then we got 8. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. When we talk about 8, we talk about the 72. So that will be 47, 72 in there. And then below that will be 46.50. That 46.50 would be the lower end of group 2. So that can go in there. In fact, we should just put that in there now. And what I'll do with that is I'll just make that 46.50. So that's the lower end there. And Fortescue will be much the same as well, so in its own way. Yep, so we're looking for this to be a 4th and a bit more to come down through here. Technically, because it just nipped the top out there, it should just nip the bottom out there. So we'll just observe it. We wanted to sit back up over here. I'm just going to move this here because it's just, I've probably done it a bit big and a bit misleading. But let's just, going to go up, could go further. Want to make it a low just below wave A there. And then we want to get support on there with some sort of little vibration in there, and then we'll look to go long at that point. So it's just a bit of a very simple mud map at this particular point. So okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I might even in the future, because this video is like 30 minutes, not that that's a problem, it doesn't matter if a video is short or long, it's just that, yeah, I might split the ASX and put the ASX and the banks in one sort of section, and then separate the commodities and the few commodity stocks, and try and keep the videos at sort of 10 to 15 minutes if I can. But I've been doing a lot of work this week and trying to improve things, so I'm not going to worry about it this week, but I'll keep mulling it over. But I think I do need to split them in some way. Alrighty, that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.